another episode of Cooking with Melodies. I'm your chef, Chef J. Coleman, and thanks for being here with us one more time. Today we're going to do something that everybody should know how to do. Today we're going to make a homemade chicken soup from scratch. All right, this is something that everybody should know how to do. It's cold, it's starting to get, the seasons are about to change. It's starting to get a little cold outside. Flu, cold season is at hand. So we're going to need something to give us that comfort, that nutrients that we're going to get from the soup. And that's what we're going to learn how to do today. Come on over here, I'm going to show you what our ingredients are. Today we're going to start with a whole chicken, okay? A whole chicken. We have some onions. We got some carrots here, some celery. And the vegetables that we're going to put in the soup are red peppers, some zucchini, and squash. Okay, so there's going to be a chicken and vegetable soup. So we have a rice blend here also. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our broth, and then we're going to show you where we're going to go from there. So first, we're going to start with what we call a mirepoix. Or it's a French term called mirepoix, and that is celery, carrots, and onions. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, so now we have our mirepoix. This is our celery, our carrots, and our onions. And what we're going to do, y'all follow me. I'm going to show you. This is so much better than buying a stock or already made chicken soup. Okay, it's going to be less sodium, and you can save this chicken stock, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so all we're going to do here is we're going to take our chicken. We can place the whole chicken inside of the pot. Place the chicken inside the pot, step one, okay? Then we're gonna take our mirepoix, which is gonna be our celery, our carrots, and our onions. And all we're gonna do, we're just gonna give it a nice rough chop, okay? It can be big pieces because all of this is going to give flavor to our stock. So we're just gonna add all of that right into the pot. Okay, we got a couple of a couple of carrots here. Just gonna add all of this right to the pot. Okay, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be uniform or anything like that because we're gonna, after it does what it does when it's cooking, we're gonna get rid of it anyway, okay? So I'm just gonna slice the onion up in the big pieces here, just like that. Just gonna throw this right inside the pot, okay? All of that goes inside the pot. Another thing that you wanna do is the gizzards and the livers, that you might think, I don't wanna put that in there, but you want this adds a lot of flavor to the chicken, so you want to put this in there also. Just throw everything right into the pot. And that's going to make very tasty broth. Okay, so now we have this thing also we call aromatics. Okay, which are herbs that we want to put inside of it also. We have some fresh thyme here. Okay, we're just going to throw the thyme right inside the pot. Everything is going inside, that's the name, inside the pot. Everything is going inside the pot. So, but once again, so you have your mirepoix, you have your carrots, you have your celery, you have your onions, you have your chicken, you have your gizzards, your livers, all of that is going inside the pot. You have some aromatics, which is you have your thyme sprigs. You also, if you like rosemary, you can add rosemary to it. You can add a bay leaf. Whatever you like as far as herby taste, whatever you want, store it inside the pot, okay? Now, this is one thing that you want to do too. You want to season this also, okay? So you can season it with when you start to season things, you want to season it in the layers, okay? So you can season it with salt, pepper, whatever season that you like. But I have my own blend of seasoning here with salt, pepper, and a couple of other things. So you're just gonna go ahead and throw that on in there, all right? So now, here at Melodies, we just don't do food, but in Melody's Kitchen, we make the food sing. So this is how we're gonna make this food sing. This is how we're gonna make this broth sing. Normally you can just add just water to the broth, but this is what I'm gonna do. I added I have a chicken base. You don't want to overdo the chicken base because you don't want it to be too salty. But what you want to do is you can add just water, or you can make your own like chicken base. But that's what we're just gonna add more flavor to the broth. We're gonna make it sing a little bit, okay? So then what you do is you just add. You can come over here so I can show you this. You're just gonna add this right over top of it, and this is gonna make your broth for your chicken soup, okay? And then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cover this up. We're gonna cover this up and we're gonna let it cook. It's gonna cook for about an hour to an hour and a half, okay? So, in the meantime, while that is boiling and it's cooking and the chicken is getting all of those flavors are marinating and just singing together in harmony and it's just gonna be so good. What you can do now is this is gonna be a vegetable soup, okay? We're gonna make a chicken, rice, and vegetable soup. So some of the other things that we're gonna use here, as I stated before, we're gonna add some red peppers, we have some zucchini, and we have some yellow squash, okay? Now, you can use whatever vegetables you like, okay? If you want to add asparagus, if you want to, if you like, whatever vegetables you like, string beans, whatever vegetables, whatever tickles your fancy, you can add in your chicken, rice, and vegetable soup, okay? So, what we're gonna do while that's cooking, now we're gonna go ahead and cut our vegetables, okay? All right. So now what you want to do, just want to take your chicken out and be careful because your chicken will fall right off of the bone. And that's what you want, okay? So it's fine, just going to take it out. See how it just fell apart there? Take it out, just going to take your chicken out of there. Because in a minute, we're going to shred the chicken. You want the chicken to cool off a little bit. All right, so now you take the chicken out. Now what you want to do is your stock. You want to go ahead and strain it. And remember I said that we're not going to use that the mirror part, the celery, onions, and carrots, and we're not going to use all of that. All of that was just really to flavor your broth. Okay? So, make sure it's nice and strained. And we're just going to set that to the side. Alright? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get into preparing the actual soup. Okay? And remember all those vegetables that we chopped up earlier? We have some zucchini, some squash that we diced up. We have some red bell pepper. Now the red bell pepper is just going to be for a nice color. It's going to give the soup a nice color. And then we have that mirror part again. We have the celery, we have the carrots, and we have the onions. We also have about a tablespoon of garlic that we want to add there also. And remember, like I said before, you can use with any type of vegetable that you want to use. Like I said, whatever tickles your fancy, whatever you want to use, that's what you use. Okay, so what you want to do is take the same pan that you had the chicken stock in. You want to get that pan nice and hot. You're going to add a little extra virgin olive oil there. Saute the vegetables that we used earlier. So we have our celery, carrots, and onions. Y'all hear that sizzle? That's what you want. Then, go ahead and add your little tablespoon of garlic. Now you don't want to put your garlic in first because your garlic will cook fast, it'll burn, and it'll get real bitter. You don't want that taste in there. Alright? So, celery, carrots, onions, garlic. Then, we're going to go ahead and add our zucchini. Some of the zucchini and the squash. Everything up there. And then we're just going to go in and add our red peppers for a little color. It's looking all right. All right, now, season. Always layer your seasonings. Make sure you season your vegetables. You can never season enough. Whatever type of season that you like, salt and pepper. If you just want to use salt and pepper, just use salt and pepper. That's cool. I have a seasoning blend that I use. The seasons that I came up with myself, so you don't know what they are. But use what you want to use. I want y'all to see the beautiful color of these vegetables here. Okay, so we got some sauteed, got some squash, some zucchini, red peppers, celery, carrots, onions. And we're just gonna let all that cook together. And what you hear right there, it's a harmony of flavors. It's singing, y'all. That's what happens in Melody's kitchen, it's singing. All right? All right, so now that our vegetables are sauteing there, we're gonna let that saute a little more. Now what we want to do is, that wonderful melodic stock that we just made, we're gonna pour it right back in here. Now, just by chance that you feel like you don't have enough stock after the chicken is cooked, you want to save. Remember we talked about the chicken base and the chicken stock. You want to save that, okay? You want to save that. So I used about 2 quarts. Okay, so you want to save. Don't throw the stock away. Save that. If you think that you want to add more stock to it, you can just add it at the end. Okay, and it'll all work out. Okay, so now we're gonna let that come up to a simmer. Okay, and I think I'm gonna add a little more of my stock to this. All right, so now we're just gonna let that come to a boil. You see it's coming to a boil. And remember, this is a chicken, rice, and vegetables. So we have a blend of rice here. We have some wild rice, some white rice, some red rice, and we're just gonna pour about a half a cup of rice into the water. Pull that on in there. And get that a good stir. Now, and then we already shredded up our chicken. I'm just gonna go ahead and add the chicken now. Oh man, I'm trying to tell y'all, this soup right here is gonna be good for the body, the soul, and the mind. But it's done Melody's way. If it was dried parsley, you can add it in the beginning, but you always want to add a fresh herb at the end of the cooking process. Okay? Okay? After that, let's throw the top back on there and let that simmer for like another maybe 15 to 20 minutes. There we have it, family. A nice chicken, rice, and vegetable soup. Homemade chicken broth. We made it sing by adding our own vegetables. We have our fresh zucchini, our yellow squash, red peppers, celery, carrots, onions. It's off the chain. You can eat this anytime. Snuggle up close to a fire while it's nice and cold outside. If you got the sniffles, go ahead and make mama's chicken, rice, and vegetable soup. It'll clear it right up. Let's go ahead and test this out. We got our bread. We got our, let's test this out. Chicken, mama's chicken noodle soup. I'm telling y'all, listen, when you try to make this, what I want you to do is share it, post it, hashtag Melody's Kitchen. Try the recipes out, guys. I hope you enjoy it. This is awesome, man. It's mama's chicken and rice vegetable soup. Mama's.